So now we've formally started. So good morning, everybody, and welcome. And to the revision session. So what we're going to do today is just, I hope, take all the surprises out of the equation for you, that you know exactly what's going to happen and exactly what to expect. That's really the whole purpose of today. So in terms of format, the first 15 minutes is myself. I'll give you an overview of the exams and graduations and all that kind of good stuff, that you know what's going to happen. Then Katrina is going to go through the collections module. And I suppose there's two sides to what Katrina will do between 10:15 and 11. One is to go through the mock paper for collections. And you know, if you have already had an opportunity to do it and you have your answers there, good idea to compare your answers to Katrina's suggestions in terms of what we're looking for. And to me, that's where the learning comes from, where, oh, I missed that bit, or I should have said that, or I never put that in, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So the best learning is where you see what you did and you listen what you should have done, and then hopefully you'll be better prepared to do the exam. So that is that. And I know Katrina will give you some pointers for the real exam as well, just that you know where to focus your efforts, because there's 2 weeks to go now. So within the next 2 weeks, if there are any outstanding short tests or assignments, by all means get them into Katrina. You want to get as many marks as you possibly can. That's the name of the game. That's what it's all about. Do you hate exams? Yes, I think everybody hates exams. That is just a given. The fact of the matter is, the associations who are certifying the diploma, we have to make sure that people have some kind of standard and have learned something and know how to apply it. So just giving out diplomas, you know, we can't do it. And I think, you know, once you get over the hurdle of the exam, and look, it's never easy and nobody likes being tested. It's just the last hurdle that you have to get over. And, you know, what I say to people is, look, this is just an opportunity to show off all you've learned over the last 6 months. So, you know, just relax as much as you can. I know it's easy for me to say relax when I have the answers in front of me. You know, well, in fairness, you will too. But I talk about that in a minute. When we go through it. So we'll take a break around 11 o'clock, so you can grab a quick cup of tea, coffee, or whatever else. Then Paul will be here at 11:15. So from 11:15 to 12 is the international credit management revision. So if you're doing collections and international, stay with us till 11, take a break, come back at 11:15, and you'll be then finished at 12 o'clock when Paul finishes the international. For those of you who are doing law, you will have a break from 11 to 12 and come back then at 12 o'clock, and then Paul will go through the law revision with you. Is that okay? And I know we've questions and answers for the last 15 minutes. If you're going to finish up in international, you know, you can ask questions anytime, and we really encourage that you do that as well. And at the end of every session, we'll just turn off the recording so you can ask without being on permanent record. So that is that. So we hope to wrap it up around 1 o'clock. And look, if it's earlier, it's earlier. We're not going to keep you for the sake of keeping you. We'll cover the material until you are happy, and then we'll all take the rest of the day off. So for those of you who are, this is your first term, it's probably been a long time since you've done an exam, and it's an absolute daunting prospect. So what will happen is, this day 2 weeks, which is the 27th of May, you should be sitting at your laptops. And what I will do is I will send the paper 10 minutes early to you via email. There's no need for Zoom. We don't do Zoom. It is literally just, you will receive an email from me at 10 to 10 on Saturday the 27th. So be there, be organized, just have a quiet space for yourself that you can give it your undivided attention. And at 10 to 10, so depending on whether you are doing law or international, that is the paper that you will receive at 10 to 10. So you have 10 minutes just to read over it and get started. Now, in terms of the law paper, what you will get, and you've seen it in the mocks, because the real papers will look, in terms of format, they will be the same as the mock. Obviously, in terms of questions, they won't be the same questions, they'll be similar. So that is that. So FAR Law at 10 to 10, you will get 50 multiple choice questions. Is that okay? And you have 1 hour to complete that and send it back. So that is in law. Now, guys, I'll just give you a little bit of advice. I know, and you know, that you have the notes in front of you. If you are going to rely on the notes to answer each of those multiple choice questions, you are going to send your own stress levels up through the roof, okay? Because 50 questions in 60 minutes is just a minute a question. And by the time you open your notes, flick through them, find the answer, read through it, it just, you're not going to do it. So, you know, even though it is completely an open book exam, and we recognize that, and you're allowed to have the notes in front of you, that's okay too. What I would advise you to do is just to go through the 50 questions, the multiple choice questions, answer all the ones that you can, and just remember, we only need, you know, 40% to pass the exam. So if you can answer 20 of the 50, then that's all you need to pass. So I know there's a perfectionist lurking somewhere inside all of you, that you want to get everything absolutely perfect. You know, 80% is still a distinction if you're aiming at the higher echelons. So whether it's 82 or 99, it's still a distinction. So please be nice to yourselves and refrain from beating yourselves up if you get one wrong. That is, it is allowed. So just go through the paper, and time management, and I'll talk about it. Time management more comes into play with the longer questions. So what will happen is, for the law exam at 10 to 10, you will receive the multiple choice questions. You can highlight them, you can bold them, as long as it's clear. There'll be 4 options. The one that you're picking is the one that you want. And then you send that back to me. So I'm the one who'll be coordinating the exams here. So you send you'll get them from me. And the one thing I do ask as well, when I send you the papers in the morning, just send me back either a thumbs up or received or thanks or got it, because I'm sending this out to everybody, and it's just comforting to know that I'm not sending it into a black hole somewhere, you know, that people are actually getting it. And it just helps to know that you are there and engaged and all that sort of stuff. And if, you know, 5 to 10 comes and you haven't got the paper, you know, I'll have the phone on, I'll be sitting at my desk. So please, or if you're at a different desk and it's another email that you want it sent to, you know, please, I want you just to relax. We'll do whatever you want us to do. Is that okay? So that is the story for the morning of the exam. So, and what I will do is, because I'll be sitting at the desk, so what is your prize for getting your multiple choice questions back quickly? It's this, that as soon as I receive your answers for the multiple choice questions, I will then send you the long questions. And for law, the long questions have to be completed and returned by 12 noon. So if you can get your short test or the multiple choice questions to me at 11:15, then obviously you have an hour and 15 minutes to do the long questions. So you're just giving yourself a better chance. Now, I'm not saying rush it, because you still want to get as many marks as you can. So just go through it, make sure you're happy. And I will then acknowledge that I got your multiple choice, and I will send you the long questions. Yeah. For the long questions, now again, the long questions are both in collections and in law. So Katrina and Paul will give you the details on all of them. What I will say from a structural perspective, guys, it's about time management. Time management is everything. So if you have an hour to do 2 questions, then that's half an hour each. If you spend 45 minutes on one, and then you're rushing the last one, you probably, and if you spend 2 hours, or you spend an hour on doing one question, you can only get half the marks. So what I would strongly advise you to do is set your alarm somewhere beside you. Half an hour later, the alarm goes off. Stop whatever you're writing on that question. Then go on to question 2, or the second choice that you make. And look, if you have time at the end, go back and finish. If not, you've probably got most of the marks anyway. And I suppose just to let you into the minds of the examiners here as well, we are always looking for opportunities to give you marks. Is that okay? So there are some organizations who look to fail people. We don't. We look for excuses. So anything that you put down that's right, you will get a mark for. Anything you put down that's wrong, you will not be penalized. So for the multiple choice question, if you don't know the answer, guess it. Because a guess is better than a blank space, and you have a 4 to 1 chance that you might get it right. And there's no marks deducted for wrong answers. Is that okay? So just to know how to play the game as well. So that is the exam. Be ruthless with your time and do that. And half an hour for each question, and then you submit your answers. And guys, if you decide to be real smart and copy and paste the notes and send it back as the answer to the question, we know the notes, and we can, so it's your answers that we're looking for here. So copy and paste the notes will be noted and is not appreciated, and you won't do well in that. And hopefully the questions have been framed correctly, that you won't be able to do that. But just let you know, and it is quite permissible to go through the notes and formulate your answers. So that is that. And the answers that we're looking for are based on the notes. For those of you who are doing international credit, you will get your paper again at 10 to 10 on the 27th. There's no multiple choice questions or whatever. It's literally just one paper, and you have 2 hours to complete the paper. There is the kind of shortish questions at the front, and then there's the longer questions. So that's that. You'll take a break then from 12 to 1, and at 1 o'clock then we start all over again with collections. I will send out the multiple choice questions at 10 to 1. You send them back. I will send you the long questions, and then we'll be all wrapped up by 3 o'clock. And then we'll get cracking on it as soon as we can. And certainly, just for peace sake, certainly by the end of June, you will get your results letters. And the results letters will just say, you either got a distinction, which is above 80%, a merit, which is between 60 and 80, a pass is between 40 and 60. So whether it's a pass or a merit or whatever. And what we will do is we add the exam results to your short tests, to your assignments, and combine all the numbers together to come up with an overall mark. So guys, it's doable. And the fact that you're here and you've stuck with it till now, it is doable. So just relax as much as you can. Read the questions carefully. That's the one bit of advice I'll give you. That, my famous example, which I'll never forget, was an excellent student who was asked in an exam question to give the benefits for a credit policy. And they wrote the most amazing stuff about what a credit policy is and the importance of a credit policy, and why everybody should have it. And they knew everything absolutely inside out and backwards. And you know what? Because they didn't give us a benefit, we couldn't give them a mark. And it had an effect on me, because I'll never forget it, And I was sitting there going, please, I want to give you marks, give me a benefit and I'll give you a mark. And they just didn't read the questions. They just saw, oh, credit policy. Yeah, I know all about that. And so that's one of the things that you just need to look out for. So just read the question, underline the verb. There's no trick questions in there. Just make sure that you are answering the question that you are asked. Is that okay? So I hope I've given you a good overview. And look, just in terms of revision, you have 2 weeks to do it. Make a schedule for yourself and say, look, I'm going to study on Tuesday night and Friday night, or whatever the case may be, so it fits in with your schedule. The worst thing you can do is be sitting down watching telly and going, oh, I should be studying, I should be studying, I should be studying, and then you just beat yourself up. No, set out your schedule, put out your time, what you feel you need to do yourself justice in the exam, and then just stick to that. So that's really, from an introductory perspective, that's all I have to say to you. Of course, we're here if you need anything. And what I will now do is I will just stop recording.